Looking for the path to safety in the counsel of prophets makes sense to those with strong faith. When a prophet speaks, those with little faith may think that they hear only a wise man giving good advice. Then if his counsel seems comfortable and reasonable, squaring with what they want to do, they take it. If it does not, they consider it either faulty advice or they see their circumstances as justifying there being an exception to the counsel. Those without faith may think that they hear only men seeking to exert influence for some selfish motive. Another fallacy is to believe that the choice to accept or not accept the counsel of prophets is no more than deciding whether to accept good advice and gain its benefits or to stay where we are. But the choice not to take prophetic counsel changes the very ground upon which we stand. It becomes more dangerous. The failure to take prophetic counsel lessens our power to take inspired counsel in the future. Every time in my life, when I have chosen to delay following inspired counsel or decided that I was an exception, I came to know that I had put myself in harm's way. Every time that I have listened to the counsel of prophets, felt it confirmed in prayer, and then followed it, I have found that I moved towards safety. Along the path, I have found that the way had been prepared for me and the rough places made smooth. God led me to safety along a path which was prepared with loving care, sometimes prepared long before.
Some complain that when the prophets speak with clarity and firmness, that they're taking our agency away. We're still free to choose, but as has been mentioned, we must accept the consequences of those decisions. The prophets do not take our agency. They simply warn us of what the consequences of our choices will be. How foolish to fault the prophets for their warnings. Develop faith in the prophets and their admonitions. Seek the confirmation of the Spirit that they are inspired. Then, when they speak, and you respond positively to their counsel, you will find comfort, peace, and even joy.
To have living prophets, seers, and revelators among us, and not listen to them, is no better than not having them at all. The prophet Jacob hoped that the words written with so much difficulty on the plates by righteous men would be received by their children with thankful hearts, and that they might learn from them with joy and not with sorrow. May we be wise enough to do likewise with the words of the living prophets, seers, and revelators of our time.
There aren't many guarantees in this life. There isn't a car made with a warranty that covers everything. No bank on earth can absolutely guarantee that your money is completely safe. Even the Good Housekeeping seal of approval has a disclaimer written right on it. Nothing man-made or man-controlled can ever be truly guaranteed. But here's the miracle. The Lord has given some marvelous guarantees without any disclaimers, and this is one of them. He will choose the prophet, and he will never let that man lead us astray. Imagine for a moment the impact of that promise. There is at least one place we can turn for pure, unpolluted guidance.
The world is full of so many self-help books, so many self-proclaimed experts, so many theorists, educators, and philosophers who have advice and counsel to give on any and all subjects. With technology today, information on a myriad of subjects is available with the click of a keystroke. It is easy to get caught in the trap of looking to the arm of flesh for advice on everything from how to raise children to how to find happiness. While some information has merit, as members of the church, we have access to the source of pure truth, even God Himself. We would do well to search out answers to our problems and questions by investigating what the Lord has revealed through His prophets. Trusting in and following the prophets is more than a blessing and a privilege. President Ezra Taft Benson declared that our very salvation hangs on following a prophet. He described what he called 14 fundamentals in following the prophet. In the session this morning, Elder Claudio Costa of the Presidency of the 70 so eloquently instructed us on these 14 fundamentals. Because they are of such great importance to our very salvation, I will repeat them again. 1, the prophet is the only man who speaks for the Lord in everything. 2, the living prophet is more vital to us than the standard works. 3, the living prophet is more important to us than a dead prophet. 4, the prophet will never lead the church astray. 5, the prophet is not required to have any particular earthly training or credentials to speak on any subject or act on any matter at any time. 6, the prophet does not have to say, "Thus saith the Lord," to give us scripture. 7, the prophet tells us what we need to know, not always what we want to know. 8, the prophet is not limited by men's reasoning. 9, the prophet can receive revelation on any matter, temporal or spiritual. 10, the prophet may be involved in civic matters. 11, the two groups who have the greatest difficulty in following the prophet are the proud who are learned and the proud who are rich. 12, the prophet will not necessarily be popular with the world or the worldly. 13, the prophet and his counselors make up the first presidency, the highest quorum in the church. 14, follow the living prophet and the first presidency and be blessed. Reject them and suffer. Brothers and sisters, like the saints of 1848, we can choose to follow the prophet, or we can look to the arm of flesh. May we have the wisdom to trust in and follow the counsel of the living prophets and apostles. I am a witness of their goodness. I testify that they are called of God. I also testify that there is no safer way to approach life, find answers to our problems, gain peace and happiness in this world, and protect our very salvation than by obeying their words.
Is there one clear, unpolluted, unbiased voice that we can always count on? Is there a voice that will always give us clear directions to find our way in today's troubled world? The answer is yes. The voice is the voice of the living prophet and apostles. When we hear the counsel of the Lord expressed through the words of the President of the Church, our response should be positive and prompt. Today I make you a promise. It is a simple one, but it's true. If you will listen to the living prophet and the apostles and heed our counsel, you will not go astray.